Rail and sustainability, folks. You've got to check out Toronto. There's a wide variety of sustainable rail transit plus historic displays to satisfy you antique rail and steam fans. Come over with me for a look at highlights of my visit there in May of 2011. Toronto's suburbs extend a long way out thanks to both highway and rail connections. So the triple-track rail line between Brantford and Toronto, a fine piece of railroad, sees quite a lot of passenger and freight activity. In addition to VIA and Canadian National, the line sees heavy commuter rail traffic run by the provincial government of Ontario under the GO moniker. This is one of 9 GO commuter rail lines, all of which converge at Toronto Union Station. Toronto's is one of North America's busiest stations, averaging about 200,000 daily passengers. Continuously in use since its opening in 1927, it's receiving a much-needed rebuilding. Its present appearance is of grandeur boarded up and turned to weary practicality. The architect's plans call for a clean, airy openness. Here's an eastbound GO train pulling in. On the point is MP40PH-3C locomotive, number 652, less than a year old. Let's hop on and ride out as far as Pickering, a suburb of about 100,000 people. From the last of 12 Bombardier bi-level coaches, we get a good view of the train side of Toronto Union Station as we leave. The CN line east of Toronto, also triple-tracked, runs along the lakeshore, and occasional views can be glimpsed through the lush spring foliage. We've arrived in Pickering and watch as the train continues on its eastward journey to Oshawa. Later, after crossing under the tracks, the westbound train arrives with the control cab in the lead. GO always puts its motive power on the east end of its trains. As you would expect, Toronto has pretty extensive passenger yards both east and west of Union Station. As the train enters the east yard, we get a good view of some of the work being done to upgrade the station and its approaches.
We're arriving at Toronto Union Station. Once again, after a brief stop at Union, this train will continue west, making all station stops to Aldershot. If you are exiting the train at Union, please ensure to take a look around you and make sure you have all your belongings. As well, do not cross station tracks, as it is extremely dangerous and illegal. We ask that you use the platform elevator stairwells provided. This train will be arriving on platform 26. South doors will open onto the platform. On behalf of GO Transit, we thank you for traveling with us this morning. Enjoy the rest of your day.
station is a true multimodal facility with connections to commuter buses, local buses, trolley, and subway lines. Let's go over to the subway first. Here's an overview of the subway system. I'm actually going to show you the Danforth-Bloor line first with its extension, the Scarborough Rapid. We're at the Bloor-Yonge station, where the east-west Bloor line meets the north-south Yonge line. Toronto Transit's subway system uses two types of subway cars, H6s manufactured by UTDC in Thunder Bay between 1986 and 1989, which have largely been replaced by Bombardier's T1 series, like this one, made between 1995 and 2001, also in Thunder Bay. Let's watch as we make our way eastward. Railroaders note, Toronto subways and streetcars don't use standard gauge. They use slightly broader 1,495 millimeter gauge. That's 4 feet 10 7/8 inches. If you like watching trains, you probably want to know what the signals mean. In addition to the standard green, yellow, and red signals for proceed, approach, and halt, Toronto Transit uses a timing system to make sure trains don't go too fast downhill or around curves. A series of closely spaced signals are timed to turn from red through yellow to green, based on the time it should take a train to traverse the zone, going the appropriate speed. If the operator is going too fast, they will pass a red signal and automatic train stop will force an emergency halt.
Arriving at Warren Station.
The Bloor subway ends at Kennedy Station, but the borough of Scarborough has a semi-automated rail line called the Scarborough Rapid from Kennedy to the Civic Center, an intermodal bus train station. The line, opened in 1985, was originally planned as a maglev guideway using German technology. When that ran into difficulties, a streetcar line was engineered, but because of government incentives to develop new technology, it was ultimately constructed as a linear induction guideway. The company that built the system, Ontario's UTDC, also built the Detroit People Mover and Vancouver SkyTrain using the same linear induction technology. The aluminum plates between the tracks are actually the motor, pulling the vehicle along the rails by magnetic force, and there are no motors in the cars. The trains are computer controlled, and the operators are simply there to monitor the vehicle and open the doors, and satisfy the union contract. The transit map shows a short east-west line joining the Yonge subway at Shepherd Station. I thought it might be something innovative like the Scarborough Rapid, so I went up the Yonge to investigate. The Yonge line actually includes some above-ground running too. The Shepherd line is actually a standard Toronto-style subway, all underground. It runs to the Fairview Mall shopping center with a couple of stops between. Toronto has what is probably the most extensive active streetcar system in North America. 11 lines crisscross the downtown area and extend to the inner ring of suburbs with 47 miles of track and carry over 285,000 daily riders on average. We'll start at Union Station, where two streetcar lines, Route 510 north on Spadina Avenue and Route 509 west to Exhibition Park, dive through a tunnel under the train tracks and stop off the Union Station subway station. We'll go out to Exhibition Park, which follows the lake shore. This was Victoria Day, and as I mentioned, most Toronto residents have fled, leaving the city to us tourists. Bathurst Avenue is an important north-south route near downtown, with Trolley 511 running on it. Be sure to take the boat cruise around the islands. Enjoy the view of and from the CN Tower. See the many interesting architectural gems, and don't forget to soak up some Toronto hospitality. Toronto is only the start of many great Canadian rail journeys. I'm sure I'll be back. Thanks for watching.